do you think the future of NC2A basketball is heading with all these alternative paths?
I think it's going to have to evolve and adapt to the point where players are getting paid, whether it's through NIL, whether it's players getting paid directly from the schools or the NCAA. Like it has to get to a point. Like NCAA basketball is not going to NCAA sports aren't going anywhere. Those brands are so powerful, and there's so many loyal followers. Like there's a big difference even between pro sports fandom and college sports fandom. Pro sports fandom, it's like, yeah, you grew up loving a team. There are some diehard fans, but I've never seen more diehard fans in college sports because your identity is oftentimes tied up in that school. It's I went to that school, so if these kids beat those other kids, that shows that I'm superior to the people that went to that school. People's identities are tied up in these brands, and as long as American colleges exist, college sports will be powerful. They're just going to need to adapt with the times and start paying players, and it'll be little by little. First, it'll be the NIL stuff, and then it'll be loosening of the amateurism restrictions, and then ultimately the players in the money sports will get paid.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. Also, there's just so many kids that these alternative paths can handle. I mean, you got how many kids playing NC2A basketball? So you just,
Yeah, right. In the alternative paths, the overtime elite and the G League, like those only cater to the 5-star kids. But if you look in the NBA,
for 30 overtime elite kids, they're not all going to be 5-star, right?
well, some will be 4 stars, right?
Okay.
5 and 4 stars.
Right.
Okay. Top 80 kids or top 100 ideally, right?
Right.
And if you're not a top 100 kid and you're giving up your college eligibility, it's not a good idea because the odds get lower past that 5-star, get lower and lower. But you look at the NBA, would Dame Lillard have been invited to the overtime elite league? No, he went to Weber State. With Steph Curry?
John Morant, right?
John Morant, Paul George. I mean, the list goes on and on. So there's always going to be a need for college basketball because there's always going to be those kids who come out of nowhere